Like the suit. Hello Raging Golden Eagle fans, my name is CharmingMan93 and today we're going to be delving in to Black Lives Matter. Now, not just any old Black Lives Matter, we're talking about Black Lives Matter UK, and apparently Raging Golden Eagle told me that his channel actually hasn't had any video content about Black Lives Matter, let alone Black Lives Matter UK, so I guess we're popping his channel's cherry on Black Lives Matter. So, strap in, get ready, we're about to delve in to 1 minute and 30 seconds of cringe.
The UK is the biggest per capita contributor to global temperature change and the least vulnerable.
Now, believe it or not, she's actually quoting an actual study that claimed that the UK is the biggest per capita contributor to global temperature change. Yes, people, this video is about climate change and how apparently it's racist. I wish I was making that up. Now, there was a study conducted in 2014 that claims this to be the case, but the point is, if this is per capita, then surely the likes of, I don't know, the United States, Canada, or maybe even India or China are probably bigger because they've got bigger populations than the UK. There's only 60 million of us here, unless the fact we live on a small island. I don't know. But the point is, despite all these bigger countries with bigger cities, bigger populations, apparently we are the biggest contributors per capita and the least vulnerable. But surely the United States are less vulnerable than us as the richer country, or Canada are least vulnerable due to having a much better record. But whatever, let's continue.
According to the UNHCR, by 2050, there will be 200 million climate refugees.
Yeah, and not all of them are going to be black or even British. They're going to be loads and loads of different people who are having to flee their homes because of climate change. I mean, take for example, the Netherlands. That is a very flat country, and if global temperatures rise, and that of course would mean that global sea levels would rise, then that means that their country, being one of the flattest places on Earth, is in danger of massive flooding, potentially, of massive infrastructural damage, because they're basically one big floodplain. That's what they live on. But hey, apparently only black people are going to get affected. Not like Asian people are going to get affected, European people are going to get affected, everybody else. No, we're all going to be fine, but those 250 refugees, they're all going to be black. So that's why climate change is apparently racist, even though everyone is unsafe, potentially.
7 out of 10 of the countries most affected by climate change are in sub-Saharan Africa.
That may well be the case, but population-wise, a hell of a lot of those people are Arab or are not even considered black or African, even though they're all born and raised there. So why are you making this a black-only issue when it's not just black people who live there? Loads of people traditionally have lived in North Africa and sub-Saharan Africa for millennia. So how come their issues don't matter, but these people do? And they say all lives matter is racist.
Climate crisis is a racist crisis.
Well, you've heard it here first, people. Climate change is apparently racist. Don't know why, don't know how, but she said it, so it must be true. It must be true, people. Because one set of people are getting affected, even though everybody else is also getting affected. It's racist, apparently. Yeah.
The average salary of a London City airport passenger is £92,000 a year. In Newham, where London City Airport is located, 40% of the population scrape by on 20k or less.
Isn't this weird that of all the things that they could talk about, earnings and class, what's this got to do with Black Lives Matter UK, and what's this got to do with climate change? I live in Manchester. I earn well less than 20k or even 16k, which is actually, I think, the average of the UK in terms of wages. So why aren't you campaigning for me? Why am I being left behind here? I guess it's because I'm mixed race. I'm not actually black, so yeah, let's move on, people.
Airports, power plants and the busiest of roads in the West tend to be in the most disadvantaged working class areas, where a disproportionate number of black and brown communities live.
Yes, they do tend to live in the inner city, as do most of the poor white working class people. So I don't get your point. These people are all going to be affected. Why are you putting one group of people against another group of people when they're all stuck in the same boat? They're all poor, they're all disadvantaged, and they stand to lose more against climate change. See, this is the problem with Black Lives Matter, and especially Black Lives Matter America and to a lesser extent Black Lives Matter UK. They all seem to claim to be for equality, yet they're doing this. They're saying, see those white people there? They're the enemy. And that will just make all the white people turn to the nationalists and the alt-right, and the alt-right will go, see, look, they're saying that you're their enemy. We'll help you. We'll protect you. It's identity politics, people. They're dividing people rather than actually trying to bring people together.
Environmental racism means that black people in Britain are 28% more likely to be exposed to air pollution than their white counterparts.
Environmental racism. Right. Where did you get this statistic from? 28% more likely to suffer from air pollution than white people, even though most poor people in the inner cities actually are white per capita because of population. The UK is about 70 to 80% white. How does that work? Where did you get that from? What? That doesn't make any sense.
Climate crisis is a racist crisis.
The London City Airport expansion cannot go ahead because it would further decrease the quality of life for poor black people in this country. It cannot be left unchallenged.
Everybody would get affected by that pollution if they live around that area, not just black people. This is the thing. They only care about black people and nobody else, and have the cheek to say that when we say all lives matter, we're racist. This is just ridiculous.
At the same time, this year alone, more than 3,120 known migrants have died trying to reach safety on European shores, fleeing conditions that they did not create.
Again, that's not an environmental issue. That's a humanitarian issue, mate. So again, this has nothing to do with racism. This has nothing to do with the environment. That's to do with war, the economy, and all the stuff like that. I mean, yeah, they didn't create those conditions. Neither did we. I didn't create that issue. The governments of their country and our country created that issue. But again, it's not environmental. It's not racial. This is the problem with these people. Ugh, always bloody racial, isn't it?
If they can't fly, then the rich won't either.
Empty platitudes. Buzzwords. Yay. Oh, put that on the banner, mate. It's amazing.
Climate crisis is a racist crisis.
It's a humanitarian crisis. But herder racism. Go on then. You convinced me. You said it as many times to put it in my head, then it must be true. You're doing a Goebbels, mate. Amazing work. You've convinced me.
Shut it down.
You hear that? London City Airport, Manchester Airport, Birmingham Airport, John Lennon Airport. You are racist. Your planes are racist because pollution affects black people. You know, it affects everybody. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you people, but I'm definitely convinced at that, and I will definitely be going out there. I'll travel down 200 miles with my placard saying environmental crisis is a racist crisis, and I'll definitely protest about something that's never going to change. But whatever, what do I know? Anyway, people, that's the end of the video. That's all they had to say about the matter. I hope you get to see just how pathetic and how much of a waste of time that these BLM UK people actually are. I mean, honestly, the problems that affect them are completely different, or at least if they are the same, not as much of an issue compared to what African Americans have to go through. And again, I just have to wonder why they're even here in the first place. I mean, especially their first actual exploits were mostly done by white people. But that's the end of the video. I've been CharmingMan93. Like, share the video, and thank you, Raging Golden Eagle, for giving me your platform. So until next time, people, I'll see you later.